Good morning, students. Today we will study Seven Ages of Men by William Shakespeare. As all of you know, William Shakespeare was one of the greatest poets of English literature. This poem, Seven Ages of Men, is taken from his comedy, As You Like It, and the poem is specially pronounced by a character named Jax. Jax was a melancholic character in this whole play comedy, and he uttered some philosophical speeches. And one of his speeches, this poem is given, Seven Ages of Men. Here, in this poem, Shakespeare considers a man's life, counts a man's life passes through seven ages, and in every age there are some sufferings, agonies. As I have told you, Jax was a melancholic character, so he will talk only about the sorrow, the sorrowful aspects of a man's life according to his philosophy. So there are seven parts of a man's life, and how a man's life from birth to death passes through seven ages and he suffers. This all is given in this poem. So all the world is a stage and all the men and women merely player. They have their exit and entrance, and one man in his time plays many parts, his acts being seven ages. So the very famous line, all the world is a stage, and all the men and women merely players. Here Shakespeare says that this whole world is just like a stage, and all the men and women, all the human being, either it may be a man or a woman, whoever is there, they are just like, merely mean only, they are just like the players of a play, player of a drama. They have their exits and entrances. As in a drama, a player enters, play his parts, and then exit. In the same way, in this world, men and women come and play their part, just like entering of a play. They play their role and then exit, mean they die. So all the words is a stage and all men and women merely player. Shakespeare compares here word with a stage of a drama, a stage of a play. And all the living human creatures, they are just like players of a play. And as in a play, there is a entrance of a particular character. He play his roles, speak his dialogues, and then he exits. In the same way, a human being, a man or a woman, they take birth, they play their roles, they live their life, and they they made their exit, mean they die. So the word is here compared with a drama, with a play, with a stage. The whole world is a stage, and men and women are compared with the players. As in a play, there is a certain a character on a certain time play his part, then he make his existence. In the same way, in the world, a man takes birth and he fulfills and do his works and then dies. And one man in his time play many parts. A man, as in a play, as in a drama, a man has a character play many parts, many things. A man in his life also play many parts in a as a child, as a daughter or a son, as a youngster, as a husband or wife, as as parents or as a guardian. They men plays many kind of roles as a bread earner, a soldier, many things. So according to Shakespeare, a man, a one man in his time, mean in his lifetime, plays many parts. He has to play many parts. His acts being seven ages, and he acts in seven type of categories. His life is counted in according to seven types of roles he plays during the duration of his lifetime. So the first, at the first, the infant, marrying and packing in the nurse arm. So according to first role of a person, of a man in the world is he's he or she is just like at first the infant a newborn child. He's a newborn child, mewling and fucking. He meows, he mews, he cries through his hands and legs and fucking, and he vomits in nurse arm. So in this first act, we see that human being is a very short, it's a very little one. He's an infant and he has nothing to do. He suffers. He just suffers because he is unable to do anything. He can just cry and he can just vomit in his nurse arm. So, in the first stage, we see there are certain sufferings in a man's life. Then the winning school board. Winning means reluctant. At the second stage, when a man grows up a little, he or she has to go to school, but he is always a reluctant. His reluctant school will mean he never wants to go to the school. He don't want to join the school. Then the winning school board with its shackle means school bag, carry bag, and shining morning face. When a boy gets up, when a student gets up, his mothers and his parents bath him properly and give him a school bag for to go to the school, but he is reluctant to attend the school. So, and his sunny morning face, creeping like snail. He creeps like an insect, like a snail, unwilling to school, and he is not ready to go to school. So, in this stage, we have seen another sorrow of man. In this stage, he is a reluctant schoolboy and he is not willing to attend the school. He doesn't want to attend the school. He wants to play and make enjoyment. But his parents send him to school. So this at the second stage, as a school going boy, he has also sufferings. There are certain sorrows in his life. Then at the third stage, when he becomes an adolescent, and then the lover, then at the third stage, he plays the role of a lover. Sighing like furnace, sigh mean uh, to say like furnace, like a very uh, hot bhatti. Sighing, he sighs with a woeful ballad. Woeful mean full of sorrows, ballad mean love song. Made to his mistress eyebrow to settle his mistress. Just as we know, he plays the role of a lover, and meanwhile, his beloved become angry. His eyebrows become very brown, and to make his mistress eyebrow mean to calm down his anger. He had to sing many songs, woeful ballad, or whenever his mistress got angry, he sings sorrowful songs. Okay, every time he takes warm breaths like a sighing like a furnace, just as a furnace blows out warm air. A lover also sings in this way. Okay, and he sings sorrowful songs and always trying to mend his mistress. He always tries to entice, lure his mistress because she is always remain irritated to him. So in this stage, when a man is a lover, he has also some sorrows. What kind of sorrows? His mistress is not always happy with him. So at the first stage we have seen as an infant, second stage as a schoolboy, and third as a lover. He has sorrows and sufferings that he has to tolerate. Now, fourth stage, then a soldier, a very important stage of a man's life when he is a bread earner and he has to do something for his family. Then a soldier, full of strange oaths and beard like the pard. Here, pard means leopard. Jealous in honor, sudden and quick in quarrels, seeking the bubble reputation even in the cannon's mouth. So this is a very important stage of a man's life. Fourth stage or stage of a soldier. Then he becomes a soldier. Full of strange oaths. A soldier always takes strange kind of oaths. He takes oaths of a strange kind and beard like the pard, and he keeps a beard like a leopard. Now here we see leopard is just a symbol of some uh, animal. So in this stage, animal, a cruel animal, a soldier remains cruel like a leopard, jealous in honor. At this stage of soldier, he becomes very jealous for gaining honor, sudden and quick in quarrel. At this stage, he always takes, he becomes querulous, and very quickly he began to quarrel with the others, seeking the bubble reputation. He seeks reputation. What kind of reputation? Very short reputation. Bubble reputation means very short remaining reputation. A reputation which remains just like a bubble. And to get that reputation, he goes even in the cannon's mouth. He faces the mouth of cannon and he fights to get that reputation. Reputation which is very short. So this life of this stage of life is very complicated one, and a soldier's life is a very hard life. As a soldier, he is full of strange oaths. He keeps his beard like a pard. Mean he is very cruel. He is very cruel like a leopard. He remains jealous to get the honor, and he is very sudden and quick in quarrel. And he wants that reputation, uh, short living reputation, and for that reputation, he faces the mouth of cannon also. So in this stage, we have seen that there are again sorrows and suffering in a man's life. Then fifth stage, and then the justice. In the fifth stage, he retires from his work and he played the role of a justice. In fair round belly, at this stage, a man's belly, a man's stomach become somewhat big, and good capon land with eyes shiver. In this stage, his eyes become very shiver, become very serious, and beard of formal cut. Now he keeps his beard in a formal cut, full of wise thought. At this stage, he become full of wise, beautifully sayings and modern instances. He gives modern examples, and so he plays his fifth part. His fifth part. So we said that in this stage of fifth stage of a man's life, he works just like a justice, a justice who has become something fat with good capon line, with eye shiver. His eye has become very shiver and beard the formal cut, full of white chart. At this stage he gives very wise sayings with modern examples, and so and, and as we see in this way he plays his fifth part of a justice. Then sixth age. The sixth age shift into the lean and slippered pantaloon. At this sixth stage, old age comes. Sixth stage shifts a man into the lean means thin, very thin. Slippered pantaloon in this stage he become just like a pantaloon with specs on his nose. On his nose he wears the specs and pouch on side, and his side skin becomes just like pouch. As we see that his skin become very loose, and it loose just like a pouch. His youthful hose well saved. The youthful things which he very well saved now becomes useless for him. A world too wide for his sunshine. World become too wide for his strength. You see, his strength has been sunk, and his big noisy voice turning again toward childish treble, pipes and whistles in his songs. And his big manly voice, a manly voice which generally he orders and says something in his voice, turning again toward childish treble. Again, it becomes just like a child. Pipes and whistles in his sounds. A whistle like sound comes out whenever he speaks. As we know, at this stage, a man's teeth also goes. So he cannot speak properly. He cannot speak properly. So that there are childish treble in his voice, and pipes and whistles, sound of pipe, just like pipe and whistles come out from his mouth. So this age of sixth stage is also very sorrowful, and he has to suffer the sorrow of old age. Last scene of all. And the seventh stage, last scene that ends this strange eventful history. Now he says that this last stage that ends this strange eventful history is second childlessness. So what is the last stage of a man's life? Second childlessness and mere oblivion, a thing that is to be forgotten. Sense, teeth, sense, sense, taste, sense, everything. In this stage of a man's life, what happens? His sense will lost. Sense, teeth gone, eyesight become dim, taste, he cannot taste anything, sense everything, sense everything. Because his senses begin to stop, begin to, his senses always go. So this stage is also full of sorrow as suffering. As we have seen, all these seven stages of a man's life are sorrowful. As I have earlier told you that the poem is a song, or the poem is sung by a melancholic character named Jax. So he talks only about the sorrows of life, not the joys of life. Okay, I think you have got an idea. We will meet in the next video. Thank you.